Well, hello, hello, and happy Thursday. Welcome to Melissa's Crafting Treehouse and Paper Crafting with yours truly, Melissa. I've got some fun planned for us tonight. This has been my 20th anniversary celebration month. My anniversary was on March 14th of 20 years with Stampin' Up. And all month long, I've been doing projects featuring what I call rewind, redo projects. So I'm grabbing projects from the past, sometimes long time past, sometimes more recently in the past, and remaking them with new products. And it's so much fun. Hi, Amy. So glad to see you here. Comment when you've joined in. This is my week 2 of using a streaming software called StreamYard. You can probably see it in the upper screen. I got the free version. Yeah, so it's really good if I can see who's out there, make sure that you can all comment. This is a public page, so I should be able to see your name when you comment. So yeah, chime in. Let me know where you're from and whatnot. So yes, so I've got a rewind redo project for us today. And let's see. Yeah, let's see. Amy, did you find me in my public group? Yes, you must have. I'm now like worried that I'm in the wrong place. I think I should be in Facebook in my public group. Okay, see somebody else joining in. Comment when you've joined in. I want to make sure I'm in the right place. Is this the Melissa's Crafting Treehouse page as opposed to one of my private groups? Oh my goodness. All right, so I have a lot of fun for you tonight. Got some announcements, but the project tonight features something that I remade, a fall themed project from, let's see, when did I do that project? Back in November of 2016. So it's been quite a while since I've done it. It's a favorite. I just love it. So I've made a couple of different variations of the design, and we're going to play with it a little bit more today as well. So yeah, so that's coming soon. And I'll show you that in just a minute. So hi, Robin. Hi, Mary Beth. I just love this StreamYard thing because I can see the comments nice and big on my screen. It's so wonderful. All right, so things going on for my 20th anniversary. Like I said, this is my 4th Rewind Redo project. I've gone live 4 consecutive weeks with Facebook Live projects. And I also am doing, in celebration of my 20th anniversary, mystery boxes. So I have got so much retired things and they need good homes. And so I'm giving them away. Now I have already packed up and sent several boxes, but I still have more. There are 2 ways that you can get a mystery box. One is by placing a $100 order in my online store using my host code. And you will get one of these boxes, and they are chock full of about $200 to $250 worth of retired product. Designer paper, stamps, bundles, multiple stamps. What else? I got ribbon in there, designer paper. Did I say that already? Might be some specialty designer paper and 6x6 pieces, all kinds of stuff. So it's a great deal. And then the second way you can get it is just to buy one, $75, and that includes shipping, so you don't pay any more in shipping. So it's pretty awesome. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play with this because I can. Let's split my screen here. I love that. So these are the things going on. So here's my little summary of the mystery boxes special. I also have a new class that I literally launched today, the Naturally Gilded class. There will be a link in the video description for it. And we're also going to be using that naturally gilded paper today in one of the projects. It is such pretty paper. It's one of the online exclusive products. You won't see it in the catalog, only online. Let's see what else. The retiring list is coming out really soon, March 29th. We have a color refresh coming up that Stampin' Up's doing. So some new colors in store. So excited. And we have a new annual catalog coming. Now, if you're a regular customer who has purchased $50 or more through me in the last 6 months, I will automatically send you a catalog. If not, you either need to place an order for $50 or more, and I will automatically send one to you. But that order has to be placed by April 3rd because April 4th, I'm going to be ordering catalogs, and I want to make sure that I order enough for everybody. So, and I'm also offering the option to just plain purchase a catalog if you don't want to, sort of commit, if you will, to purchase through me, or you're not sure you're going to buy or whatever, you can buy. You can just buy your own catalog. It's $4 for the catalog, $3 for shipping, and there's a link in the description as well. Another thing that's coming up is Makers Mojo. Oh my gosh, this is the most amazing online event with 10 presentations, 5 presenters. I am one of the 5. The event is coming up on April 21st and 22nd. 2 important dates to keep in mind if you're interested in that event. The event group's going to be live on May 5th. So that's coming up pretty soon. I'm sorry, April 5th. That says April 5th on the screen. So that's there, right? And we will have play along posts starting on April 7th. These play along posts are for prize drawings. They're live for a limited amount of time in terms of being able to get a drawing entry for commenting on them. So if you're going to participate in Makers Mojo in this Creative Escape event, definitely you want to register as quickly as you can, close to May 5th. I'm sorry, April 5th. Keep saying that, April 5th, April 5th. So that you will be in the group and be able to participate in the play along posts. And they're a lot of fun. All kinds of crazy questions that we ask you to comment on. And it's so much fun. So comment here if you are a Makers Mojo participant from the past. Comment on what you think of it, why people should do it, why you keep coming back, because many of you do keep coming back. So so please do that. So anyway, and of course, share, tag, follow, and like, whether you're watching here on Facebook or on YouTube. Please share the love. I appreciate anything you can do in the way of that sharing. Now let's see what else. Before I say one more thing, I just want to say, if you are new to my page and to Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Comment and let me know if you're a first timer, where you're from. Oh, I see. Hi, Robin. Hi, Robin. And I don't recognize your name, so maybe you're a first timer. Comment if you are. And you're from San Diego. So nice to meet you. And Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Yes. Somebody who always comes back for Makers Mojo. I'm so glad you love Makers Mojo. Let's see, who else have I not said hello to? Hi, Jan. Hi, Rita. Yay. Hi, Lorley. So fun. Did you notice I got a haircut today? I got a new haircut today. I'm going on a trip, so I want to, just primp a little bit. Anyway, I don't know what made me think of that, just because I can see myself in the camera. All righty, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to show you what we have in store for today. We're going to be using a couple of products that I have on the screen. Let's spotlight the screen now. So let's see, let's do that. And then let's make my desktop big. So now I'm off to the side little, but I can still be here with you. Hi, everybody. But now you get to see my screen. So the Brilliant Wings dies I'm going to be using today coordinates with this Butterfly Brilliant stamp set. I will not be using the stamp set today. This stamp set comes with this stamp that is a single, very large stamp, and it coordinates with one of the dies in this set. This is a lovely, lovely set. I can just get this off. I just wanted to show you this because this die, you can see, cuts out this whole thing. Some people buy 2 of this set and they cut apart the pieces so you can use them individually, but they are designed so that you can cut out, die cut all the butterflies it's in. It doesn't fit over there because it's not to scale, but it does fit, you can see. So it's a great set of dies. And then you've got all these individual detailed dies. I'm going to be using that today, the individual detailed dies. Now, in my set of dies, I keep them in these little plastic sleeves that I get from Stampin' Storage. And I've been doing this thing lately that I really like, where I slip extra die cut pieces into the back, ones that I might have not used for a project. In this case, I die cut this whole piece so I would know how big I needed it to be if I wanted to do the whole thing. So that's in there just kind of as a point of reference. So a little tip for you there. And there's so many dies in this set that one of them doesn't even fit on the metal piece, the base. Now this is also Stampin' Storage, the metal piece that has the dies on it. Okay, so we're using those, and we're also using the gilded, naturally gilded paper. It's taken me forever to remember what this is called. Keep forgetting it. This is, like I said, one of the online exclusives, the copper, silver, and gold. And I am offering a new class featuring these products. And I'm going to show you the projects at the end. Don't let me forget. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Oh, my hair. You said my hair looks good. Oh, yeah. The magic of a hairdresser, right? Oh yes, and Dean, I get to see you tomorrow morning. So fun. Yes, I have the my club class tomorrow, which is featuring the Greatest Journey projects that are also part of the Greatest Journey class. Registration closed for that on the 21st, so 2 days ago, and I got my live friends coming to play with me tomorrow. So yay, so much fun. All right, so let's look at the rewind. This is the project that was from November 2016. And I used a set of dies, these leaf dies, to create this. And of course, colored them and then stamped in the middle. I love this project. Love, love, love. I love these leaves. So this is my rewind. And tonight we're going to do the redo project. So leave that on screen for as long as I can for now. Now, what we're going to start with, I'm going to do a few different versions. So I'm going to start with just a piece of white cardstock. I've taken 3 of the dies from my butterfly wings dies. This one, the big one, and then, well, you'll see it. It's covered up there. This one right here. And I just put them onto a piece of white cardstock, a 1/4 sheet, and I die cut them out. So I place them on here. And when, after I cut them out, you end up getting these detailed pieces because I'm using detailed dies. But all I really wanted was the outline. I might use these, die cuts at another point in time. But for now, they're just going in this little baggie. And I'm just using regular cardstock. I also experimented with using the masking sheets that Stampin' Up sells, but with being as big as it was and the little details in here, it worked. But then I wanted to use it a second time, and I couldn't get it to work the second time because it was all curled up. So I decided I would just do cardstock this time. So this again is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet, 1/4 sheet of cardstock. This is smaller because this is going to be my focal piece. I have some adhesive on the back side, specifically where the parts are that are a little bit more delicate, and I'm just going to center it there on the back. Press it down for the adhesive to get in there. We're going to play with some different colors on this one. And for this one, I always think of butterflies in the orange color scheme, oranges and yellows. So I pulled out a bunch of colors. Hopefully they're going to, we'll see those on screen. And some of my blending brushes. Now I'm going to grab some small blending brushes. So now you can see me way over here. I think this might be especially helpful to use the small ones because I can get a little bit more detail. So I have big ones in the orange and yellow, but I'm going to come in with pumpkin pie with a brand new virgin small mini blending brush, because I don't want to have too much orange on there. I don't want it to overshadow the yellow because that can easily happen. So I'm starting in the center and moving my way out. If you haven't gotten any of these little mini ones, you definitely want to get some. Just nice to give a little bit more flexibility for how you get your coverage on there. A little more control. Okay, so I'm going to do the orange there. Let's do it in a couple of other spots on my small butterflies. So I'm mostly on my mask here because I'm really just trying to get a little bit at the edge. And on this one, let's do the wingtips. I am loving this little, maybe I'll do the bottom wings too, just the tip. Let's see. I have to pay attention to your comments since I can see it. Okay, so Jan, you love the set. You mean the butterfly set? Yes, the butterflies. Yes, the butterfly set. It's so we neglect those things that have been around a little bit longer, but that's for sure. I do the same thing. But I do really, I love it. And I have made a bunch of cards, but this is the first time I've gone back to it in a while. So always fun, right? Okay, I'm going to go straight to my Daffodil Delight, which is the lightest of the colors. And I can do this pretty aggressively, and because I can always cover it up with the darker colors. So we're going to start with that and do that on the white spaces. I might not even use those other colors. So you're probably wondering why this mask is brown. Maybe you saw the sample that the sneak peek that I shared on Facebook and in my newsletter shortly, a little while ago. So one of the projects that I have made uses browns. So you can see there this little part of the that creates the antenna seems to want to move, even if I put adhesive on it. So I have to kind of strategically go like this, but I think I may have already gotten ink underneath it. What can you do? All right. So I got some good coverage there. I definitely need to do some blending, right? Because I've got the dark orange, and anyway, it's too dramatic a change from the dark orange, the pumpkin pie, to the daffodil. So let's do crushed curry. It's a slightly darker yellow. And let's see if I don't want to do a small blending brush again. So we're going to kind of fill in a little bit in the middle and try to blend the pumpkin with the daffodil. Yeah. So yeah, the mini ones are easier to use. It says, but Lisa, you're saying, but if you're ink blending a background, yeah, if you use the big for a whole background, totally, the big ones are definitely going to be more efficient. But for this small detail work, it's nice to have the small ones. So I'm going to now bring in my Mango Melody, which is an orangey yellow. It's not as yellow as daffodil. It's not as dark as the pumpkin, but it's more orangey than the crushed curry. So I'm going to go ahead and use this pumpkin pie mini blending brush for the mango. And hopefully I can kind of blend a little bit more in here. And I'm going out from the center because I can go over the pumpkin without covering up the pumpkin because it's a lighter color. Let's come in from the tips with the mango. Ooh, I'm liking that. I wanted to do each of the butterflies a little bit different, because each butterfly is going to be different in nature. So okay, I'm liking that. That's looking pretty. Okay, I need some more yellow in here. Okay, I think I'm done with those for now. All right, so next what I'm going to do is grab some Memento Black ink, and I am using this Ranunculus Romance stamp set for my next step. And this is different from the sneak peek sample that I showed because, like I said, I'm doing a couple different things here. And I'm going to use this image first, the script image. And I'm going to add some images to my butterflies. Okay. So let me see on camera. Okay, let's go right here with my first one. And I think I'm going to do some images stamped off and some full inking. So that top one was full inking. Okay. Now I've got a couple other images I'm going to use. This foliage image, which I really like quite a bit. And I'm going to stamp that off, go right into the center. Stamp it off. Do a little bit over here. It's like a collage butterfly. And I'm pressing pretty hard because the thickness of the cardstock is going to kind of prevent it from getting right to the edge. So that's just kind of a reason why you would use the masking paper instead, because it's a lot thinner. But we're doing this for this one. Okay, let's see. So I'm also going to try to get some of these roses in here. And I am going to stamp them off. It is not getting to the edge, but it's okay. You can see how the edges, and now there's a gap in there. It's okay. All right. I think what I'm going to do next is grabbing this other image from the Irresistible Blooms stamp set, this specs image. Every crafter needs specs in their crafting space, especially when you're doing this kind of thing. And I'm going to actually go right into the center. And I'm really just ad-libbing here a bit. Let's see what we get. All right. I think I might just stop there. All right. I'm going to close up some ink pads over here. They're off camera, but I don't want them to dry out. Well, actually, I'm going to use them. I might use them again. Okay, so we'll just leave them. Just leave them. Okay, let's reveal. All right, so that's what we got, which I think is kind of pretty. Pretty. Okay, and now I'm going to add a few more specks to the background. But I'm definitely going to do them stamped off. Don't want it to be too overpowering here. The trick is remembering that you're stamping off, right? Okay, and maybe just a few off the edge that are full inking. Stamped off, you know, just playing. All right, do I dare go into the middle? Doing it at an angle so I just get some. All right, there we go. So that's what I got. So now I'm going to bring some color into the edges. I think I'm going to do yellow. This time I'll use the big one and do the daffodil. Notice how I did the daffodil on this, but a lot of it is covered up because the darker colors just tend to overpower it. So I want to bring more of that yellow out just by putting some. For some reason, when I did the foliage one, that's the original, there's not enough room in the screen. I didn't feel like I needed color in the middle. And that's, I guess, maybe because there were so many different colors in the leaves themselves. That for some reason on this one, I feel like I need a little more color on the edge. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to show you one that I finished doing this method right here. And totally different color scheme. But this is the one I did whenever I did it yesterday, the day before. But on this one, I used polished pink, which is the color of the card body. My little notes on the back. And pumpkin pie and crushed curry. Those are the three colors on there. A couple of iridescent rhinestones. The screen probably went black for a second because somebody was calling me. How dare they? Looked like a solicitor too. So anyway, I'm back. Do you hear me? Do you see me here? Yes, yellow is happy. I agree. And I'm glad you like it, Robin. Wonderful. So glad to see you both here. My Texas friends. That's so fun. Yeah, I went away for a second because somebody called me. Uh, you guys probably get a million calls like I do from solicitors. Anyway, so this will become a card. I will do it on black, but then of course the base color will not be pink because there's no pink in there. But we're not going to finish this one today. I'm going to show you something else. Okay. So I really am just loving this naturally gilded paper. So I really wanted to play with this a bit. So I won't be doing any stamping on those ranunculus images. Put those aside. So I have done one with the silver and with the copper, but I haven't done one with the gold for this particular design. So that's the one I'm going to focus on now. Let's start with a semi-clean work surface here. And I have not played with this on this color, so should be interesting. What I think I'm going to do is a combination of yellows and some browns in here as well. Now, I also have some gray. We'll see if that fits with what I want to do. So again, I'm going to take this mask, turn it over, turn my naturally gilded paper on there, and put it face down to get it stuck. And then I've got my openings. Now, what to start with? This is the tricky part. Okay, I think I'm going to start with a little bit of espresso. I know, right? It's such a dark color. I'm going to use one of my mini blending brushes to help give me a little bit more control. Take off a little bit to start with. And I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just do the same kind of pattern where I do a few different versions, do one color in a few different places on each butterfly. Now, try not to cover too much with the espresso. My vision was that I would do a combination of browns and oranges or golds, oranges or yellows rather. I figured if I did too much yellow, it wouldn't show up against the gold. So that's my thinking. We'll see if my theory is right. So if you're not familiar with this paper, it is embossed actually. So the gold and the silver and the copper elements are embossed, and they resist the ink. So the ink is not going to be covering up those elements that are the natural shapes that are the gold. All right. Okay, so next, let's do a little bit, no. Okay, I was going to do that. I don't know. Let's try this. How about we go in with the yellow? And I'm going to use the big blending brush. And, you know, this might look terrible in the end. Maybe it'll be great. Who knows? We're experimenting. Oh, you love the yellow butterflies, Lauralee. I'm so glad. Okay, I'm just going to go in and do a lot of yellow. I know I can cover it up because it seems to happen quite readily. Yep. Got to be careful of those little antennae. Now, the other thing that's happening here that I was forgetting about is the ink that's sitting on the surface of that, the embossed parts, is getting moved around by this brush. So I can see it's not quite bright yellow because I've moved the brown that was on the surface onto where the yellow was. So word to the wise, I probably should have wiped that off first. And I'm going to grab a paper towel and at least wipe off whatever's there, still there. And I need a little bit moisture. Oh, can't use that. Okay, my Stampin' Mist will do. So I'm just going to spray a little bit on my paper towel and just wipe off the excess so that I'm not moving the brown around. So there's some on there. Mix of brown and yellow. Okay, let's try that again. So when I think of butterflies, I think either yellows or purples and blues. How about you guys? Don't usually think pink, but the pink was just fun. I was asking my daughter and I were hanging out as I was creating. We were watching something, and I was like, what color scheme should I do? She's like, pink and orange. Favorite color combination. Her room used to be pink and orange. We painted it together when she was like 10. She's now 22 and a nurse. Okay, let's see what else. Let's take a little peek, see what we think of it. Okay, that's looking kind of pretty. I think I need to add more though. Let's put that back on. Line it up. I think I want, let's see. I think I'm going to do some soft suede. Soft suede is kind of a reddish color, and I'm going to go ahead and use, it's a reddish brown. I'm going to use the small one that I used for the espresso. Should be okay. Testing it out here. The espresso is more of a blackish brown, and the soft suede is more of a reddish brown. So I don't know about you guys, but for those of you who know that the color refresh, I mean, we don't know any details, but we know we're going to be losing some colors. I have been playing with like every color in the arsenal that I can think of. Like I'm on a mad color frenzy, because in my mind it's like, oh, if this one's going away, I need to be able to play with it. So I've been having a lot of fun doing lots of colorful playing. Okay, I think I might be done with this. I know I didn't bring any oranges in, but it just wasn't moving me, so. Okay, but who knows? Maybe there's still time, right? Let's see what it looks like. And then we are going to actually put together one of the ones that I've got partially done. So let's start by taking that off. And there's the look at it. Sort of butterflies behind the foliage. I like the brown with the gold. It's kind of nice. Comment and let me know what you think. All right. Oh, you love it, Mary Beth? Wonderful. Okay, so next up, I'm going to actually, I want to sponge a little bit on the edges. And the question is, what color should I sponge? I have a black backing behind this, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit of basic gray along the edges. kind of soften it in a little bit. I love to give things an edge. So anybody who was here last week for the watercoloring with acrylic blocks, that blog post, of course, is live, and I ended up with 8 variations. I did end up doing a pink version. There was somebody who commented, said they would love to see a pink, so I did sort of a pinkish purple version, which really came out pretty. So that's all on my website if you want to check it out. I love the added edge. I don't know about you guys, but it just softens the whole thing. I really like that. Okay, what else? I think I'm going to do a little bit of a few gray specks. And we'll start with just a few at the bottom so I can see if I like it. Oh, I think I'm going to like it. Yes. We'll do some. And I like to move the stamp around so I'm not doing the same side. I was going to do black. I did black on my original one for the specks, but I want it to be a little bit more subtle. So the gray is lighter, especially if I'm going to stamp off, right? It's going to end up being light anyway. All right. I think I'm done with that. Okay. What next? So let's bring in a couple of layers. Let's see what this is going to look like. So I've got a black layer in there. And then my plan is to add a couple of little butterflies from the, let's see, what is this paper? I forget what this paper is called, but I absolutely love it. It's this shimmery specialty paper that comes in the gold and the rose gold. This is in the current catalog, but I'd be surprised if it carries over. Most of the designer paper doesn't. So if you really like this paper, go and get it. This gold is actually sort of a reddish gold. It's not a pure gold. So it kind of worked really well with this other version that I have over here. I'm going to show you. But I think it will work well with this one too. So I've got a soft suede card base. This is my plan. Got a piece of that specialty paper, and you can see it has this great texture to it. That'll go there, and then we'll play with a couple of butterflies on there. So that's where that one's going. I have this other one that is further along, so I'm going to show you that one. Same soft suede card base. Need a cleaner work surface here. And this is 4 1/4 by 11. I've got another piece of my specialty paper. I'm just going to put that along the left margin, the left side. And then this is the piece I created earlier, which is actually the copper paper. So let's look at the two side by side. And this one I did all browns. And of course this one has the yellow in there also. So for this one, I've already attached my butterflies, the little itty bitty gold butterflies. This one is on a dimensional. This one's on some glue dots, and this one's on glue dots, just to give them a little bit, so they're each a little bit different. And I'm going to actually do a little bit of layering on here. So I've already got one piece here. And one of my latest favorite things to do with my dimension is to use layers of scrap cardstock instead of dimensionals. Dimensionals are sometimes a little thicker than I like. So if you layer up some pieces of cardstock, you sort of allow yourself to have smaller increments of height. So I've got 2 layers there. And this one's going to be the piece that's off to the right of my specialty paper there. Just using my white glue. And then I've got one single strip of the black that's going to go over here. So we'll have two popped up layers on both sides. One with the black, one with the specialty paper, and this one with the both of the blacks. So now I can be sure that it's the same height. And then we'll just add some white glue to these layers. And attach it right on there. I think this is just so rich. Turn it over. I have not done insides for, well, this one anyway, but there's what I got so far. It might be blinding on camera, but I just love it. I think it's so pretty. Now the other element that I thought would be fun to play around with here is these champagne rhinestone jewels. They have a sort of a pinkish hue to them, and they go beautifully with the copper. So let's see if we can find a few that we want to place on there, find some spots to put them. It might not need it, but okay, this side I've got all the sides, the sizes, so let's see what we think. I could put them in the middle of the butterflies. That would be one way to do it. I do love these rhinestones. For the right application, ooh, I think this is the right application. Okay, let's see. This is a subtle little addition, but I am tempted to put them on the butterflies too. Let's see what we think. I have to do a bunch of them. Let's see what a bunch looks like. Why not? Maybe the little one would have 2, and the big one could have 3. Let's see what we think. Over the top. Oh my goodness. There's nothing like bling. It's just too much fun. I don't know. Maybe it's too much. Tell me what you think. So much fun to play. Can you even see? Let's see. We got 2 rhinestones there, 2 on this one, 3 on the bottom. I think I might have to stew on this, see if I like it. Might be too much. But comment and let me know what you think. So there's that one. I'll bring in the other one that's partially finished. So you can see that. And then I have a third one as well. So we've got this one. I think it's probably too many rhinestones on there. That's just my gut, what I'm saying to myself right now. But you know, okay, let's move that over. Let's see what I got on camera here. And then my yellow one. Now, just so you know, one of the things that we do when we do Makers Mojo events is we'll do a single project. So maybe their primary project is this one or that one or whatever. And we each of the 5 presenters, we do multiple variations on the project with different products. So when I was playing with these ideas, I actually tried a different dye. I tried the ginkgo dye, but it didn't work very well. But if I were designing for Makers Mojo, I would have found maybe 2 other sets of dyes to do this technique with, come up with some unique and different takes on the project. So you kind of have a class. For each presentation, it's really a class with multiple projects. It might be 2 or 3 or 4, or sometimes it's 9. If people do a set of 3 projects for one primary project, and then 3 with a different stamp set, and 3 with a third stamp set. So it's a lot. So this is my other example that I made. This is the blues and the purples. It's basically the same design as this one. I use the same side panel, but and then of course this one is done with the gold. So there you go. There are my fun projects for today. Fun way to use masks, don't you think? So obviously I have a little finishing up to do with that one and this one. Got to decide on my rhinestones, but there you go. Never too much bling, Lisa. Yeah. I don't know. I usually stew over things. If I'm going to design live, like, or add tweaks to a thing, I always have to step away from it for a little while, come back to it and go, hmm, well, sometimes overnight I can come back and look at it and it's like the answer is clear. I know exactly um, what I want to do. So I encourage you to do that too. I think it's very helpful. So anyway, as far as, yeah, so there you go. This is amazing paper. Just love it. Okay, so this is what we got here. What else did I want to show you? I'll show you a couple of other things. And while I still have my desktop nice and big. So before I know this is a little digression, but if Megan is out there, are you out there, Megan? I don't think I saw you. You're not here today, but I'm sure you'll rewatch. Megan Bogle, sweet, sent me this lovely card to celebrate my 20th anniversary. Hope you don't mind him opening it, Megan, but isn't that so sweet? So sweet. Just love it. What a lovely card. So thank you, Megan. And thank you for the beautiful card, the sentiment inside, and yeah, everything. The card's beautiful. Okay, so what else? Yeah, so here is a little sneak peek. I think I showed them of the projects that are the class projects for the Naturally Gilded. Am I saying that right? Keep forgetting the actual name. Yes, I think that's what it is. I've been using it all day. So that, and then that one. So we're using embossing folders and the specialty paper and a bunch of different products. So that's the class that I just announced today. And oh yes, these two. So my recent team meeting, and I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm wearing my Treehouse Chicks team shirt. We just had a team gathering, made projects at the team gathering, and I used the Naturally Gilded paper for that as well. So there's a couple different variations for one of the projects. So again, I stamped on that one. So those should be in a blog post at some point. And then of course there's that, my inspiration project for all of these. Would you ever know that this was the inspiration for these other ones? I don't know. All right. I am going to go ahead and split the screen and remind you of a couple of things and then let you guys be on your merry way. Look, I've swapped positions now. It's funny how that happens. All right, so don't forget about my mystery boxes. I have all these retired products that need good homes. So sign up for one of those things, either with a purchase or by, the $75, spending $75. There is a link in my blog post to just go ahead and outright pay. And if you outright pay, then I'm going to be putting together a mystery box for you. I had a friend help me do it because I'm pretty attached to all of my products, new and old. So I just told her we should have this much of this and this much of that and this much of the other thing. And she did a fabulous job, but I could just kind of close my eyes and not be like, wait a minute, don't let go of that. So that was kind of fun, but she did a great job, and they were stuffed. The boxes that I've assembled so far, or she's assembled for me so far, are really, really stuffed. So lots of goodies. And of course, the Naturally Gilded class registration closes April 16th. So you got some time, but don't delay. I'm going to be doing an in-person class on the 28th of April for anybody who's local and wants to come play with me. And then I'll have a to-go option as well that will have a PDF to teach you how to make the projects. And don't forget, the retiring list is coming out March 29th. I am to be gone next week. Now, I've done 4 consecutive Facebook Lives this month. And next Thursday is the 5th Thursday in March, but I will not be going live because I will be in New York City with my sweet 22-year-old daughter. And I'm going to get to see my sister and my niece, my Elphaba niece, my niece who's playing Elphaba. let's see what else, and her fiance. And then I'm going to be going and visiting my mom with my daughter in Boston after we're going to take the train. So it's going to be a great trip. My husband will be home. Poor husband, he has to stay home and work. But going to go visit my 93-year-old sweet mom, who I'm very excited to see. It's been too long, and she needs company because she's kind of lonely. So anyway, it will be really fun. So I will not be live next week for Facebook, and the retiree list comes out next Wednesday, the 29th. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to be traveling. So I'm going to try to update my website and all that good stuff, but you will be able to find that retired list out there on the Stampin' Up website easily. And I'm going to try to update my website as soon as I can. And still enjoy my trip. So yeah, and there will be details about the color refresh on the 29th as well in the afternoon. So not first thing, but in the afternoon. And don't forget, if you want an annual catalog from me, there'll be links in the description for purchasing one, or a link to place an order so you can get one from me automatically. And sign up for Maker's Mojo. There's a link in there too to register for that for April 21st and 22nd. Super fun online event. And don't forget to share, tag, follow, and like this video, my posts, everything, all the things. Okay. All righty. You love today's butterflies? Yay, I'm so glad. Nancy, I'm so glad you love them too. Let's see. I'm glad you made it, Nancy. Yes, better late than never, right? The blue one. Yes, Robin, I have a soft spot for the blue one. Yeah, I think that might be my favorite of them all. I like to save favorite for last, right? My best for last. So I kind of held out showing you that one. I think that was the reason why. But I also love the browns and the golds. So pretty. And we'll see how this one comes together. Still needs a little work to get it together, but all right. Well, thank you so much for making my 20th anniversary so much fun. This month has been so fun going live on Facebook every week. I'm going to kind of miss it because I have really enjoyed it. It's a lot of work, of course, but it is so much fun as well. Yeah, the next time I'll be back is April 6th. And over the next couple of months, I'm just going to be announcing when I'm live, because there are going to be some times where I'm live 2 consecutive weeks, and then I take a break for a week or two because I've got all this stuff going on in the spring. Travel, going to Norway. So yeah, there's lots of stuff going on, but I will keep you posted. If you're a newsletter subscriber, you're getting free tutorials from me in that newsletter. And I always give you updates of when I'm going to be going live. And at the bottom of that newsletter, there's always a schedule that will give you the heads up of what is happening when, including when I'm going live on Facebook. So, okay. I guess that's going to do it. Thank you so much for the wishes for safe travels. Yes, it will be fun. 2 planes and a train with my daughter, and we have a lot of fun together. So looking forward to it very much. Well, you guys have a wonderful couple of weeks. I will still be tuning in by newsletter. I don't know what my timing will be, though. Usually comes out on Wednesdays. This week it was a couple of hours ago that I got my newsletter out, but always either Wednesday or Thursday is when the newsletter comes out. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for tuning in. And again, thank you so much for making my 20th anniversary festivities and celebration extra special. Thank you, Nancy. Yay. Thank you, Jan. Thanks, Rita. You guys are so fun. All right. Love you guys. Bye.